Hello and welcome to my session. My name is Thomas Poppelgaard. I'm an independent technology evangelist and also CEO and consultant of my company, poppelgaard.com, where I work globally with customers around the world. I also blog about end-user computing, specialized in graphics, and you can read a lot of my articles on poppelgaard.com. I'm also very active in the community and awarded by the industry, by Microsoft as MVP, and Citrix as CTP, VMware as EUC champion and vExpert EUC, and NVIDIA as NGCA, and also Parallels VIPP, and part of the Team RGE and Login DSI program, and also IGEL Tech Community Insider. Also work a lot with Azure and is a cloud advisor on that. And then also Danish Citrix user group leader, co-leader, and also Windows Virtual Desktop. I started that group in Denmark, and that's quite new. Okay, so if you want to see more and learn about what the different awards are, you can find this on my blog. Yeah, I'm also on Twitter, which is _Poppelgaard. Alrighty, so let's focusing on the session I have. Smackdown user experience with IGEL OS running GPU workloads on HPE Edge with Citrix or VMware. So what you're going to learn in this session is the latest user experience here in 2021 with IGEL OS 11, with HP T740, which is the latest thin client from HP and the best on the market, I think. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people will also emphasize that. And then how it's working with either workloads in Citrix, the latest version CVAT 2012, or with VMware Horizon 2012, and then how it's running on the Edge hardware, HPE M750 cartridge, and together with NVIDIA T4 or P1000. Some of this is the work I've done last year for HPE, where I validated a platform, so it's now supported. VMware support bare metal VDI with HPE. They haven't done that before. It's been a primary Citrix thing, but now it's fully supported and validated. If you want to learn more about these insights, you can go to my website. I have two blog posts that's quite comprehensive. It tells about the work I did and the benchmark I've done. So if you have VMware, you run the cloud or on-prem, then it's all how you design and choose the different technology stacks with the HP platform and bare metal, and also how the results are from a benchmarking perspective between different workloads. And the same thing is done with Citrix. So you can see this on my website. I highly recommend you go in there. I will not be going to in this session about the workloads, where comparing workloads against NVIDIA T1 and P1000. Go to my website and then see it there. All right. So Edge. What is Edge? So this Edge can be used anywhere. So HPE says typical used, where it's not just a server room, but it can be anywhere. But it can even be to space. So this week, here in February 2021, HPE, together with NASA, sent out the next generation spaceborne computer 2, which is help accelerating space exploration. This is the first ever in the world edge computing sent to space that will be running AI workloads. And they will also send down data down to the Earth and to Azure if you use some stuff for that. But the cool thing is that this is actually the platform I've been working on for quite a while. So the HPE Edgeline EL4000, which is Edge focused single socket with single GPU and super low wattage, both GPU and CPU, and good memory, good CPU, and fast network. So that's pretty awesome. that now this system is in space. So if you want to read more, I highly recommend you go out and look at the source link. There's also videos, there's tons of material released. So HPE is very proud about this, and I'm so excited to see that this is, it cannot be more edged than when you get sent to space. How cool is that? Bare metal. So bare metal used to be only Citrix that actually supported with HPE, and now VMware is supporting it. So this is great for customer choice. You can choose one or the other platform. And what is the platform I'm talking about and referring to, if you've never heard about it? So HPE's Edgeline EL4000 is this one. It's a 1U chassis, and you can put it up to 4 blades in it, hot plug them in, 2 on each side, left and right. And if you open up the chassis, then you have integrated switch or pass-through. You also have 6 fan modules, no moving parts. You have 2 plug supplies, so N+1. And 2 times 10 gigabit upload link. And now comes the interesting part. You have 4 PCIe slots, 1 per blade. So that means you can actually add a GPU, an extra GPU, because the hot plug blades do have GPU on it with onboard GPU. But if you need more GPU power, then you can actually add GPUs in it. So this is something I'm so excited about because it takes the solution way further computer-wise. To the left on the green, HP ProLine M710X has been a very popular cartridge solution being used, typical for moonshot customers, CNET customers using that, and having workloads running both IDS and Citrix, even vSAN actually. But majority of many moonshot customers around the world are using this for financial services, and also other kind of customers and trader workstations. Now the new generation is the M750 on the right, the orange. This is they increased the memory to double. They increased the CPU from 3.7 to 5 gigahertz, and now it's from 4 cores to 8 cores, and with hyperthreading it's 16. Right, so that's really amazing that they have increased CPU and memory, because then you can use it for many other purposes than, in bare metal, so super high efficient users that demand fast CPU and memory can now get this system. But it also means potentially it can be used for hyperconverged systems, right, and storage solutions for that. So it can be used for many things besides than end user computing. So that's, I know customers are also looking for using these for other purposes, and that's, to be honest, is also why Edge is so popular. But let's focus in VR. This is about end user computing. The GPU it has is the also P740, but it's not so powerful. It's actually less powerful. The 3D instruction sets are not so good, so that's why it's recommended to have a GPU, another GPU on it. Sorry. And let's look at the chassis. So the chassis is the EL4000 V2. You can put different kind of cartridges in it, and you can put up to 4. You can start with 1, 2, 3, or 4. And then you have all kind of varieties of if you want to put stuff in the PCIe. Cool thing is, again, it works in high and low temperature. And there's no moving parts. It's 800 watt. 800 watts. Say what? So I'm telling 800 watts, 4 servers, 4 physical GPUs, T4s, 800 watt. That's insane. That's seriously insane. There's nothing that exists in the world that is so efficient, compute-wise, and also with power, compute per watt. I would say this is the most efficient compute in the world that exists ever. There's nothing that's built so extreme as this. That makes it quite amazing, because you can use it for so many purposes, like it's been sent for space, right? So keep that in mind. So the GPUs you can add to it is a P1000. This is a 4 GB GDDR5, 640 CUDA cores, and using 47 watts. Great GPU, 4 GB, very cheap. Now, a bit more high-end, I would say way more high-end, the Tesla T4, which is a 2060 CUDA cores with 320 Tensor cores and 40 RT cores. It does real-time ray tracing. It is also 4 times more GPU memory. So the CUDA cores is 4 times X and 4 times X on the GPU memory. It has better bandwidth. It's also newer generation memory. And it supports Tensor RT. It supports NVIDIA vGPU. It uses more watts, but again, the system, that's no problem. Still very low, 70 watts, it's nothing. It supports a variety of operating systems, and it supports a variety of hypervisors, but it also supports bare metal. You do need a vGPU license to run where the P1000 you don't, so that's where it's different cost-wise. What are the challenges the engineers have in the last 20 years is how they evolved, is that machines, you got a fast operating system, it uses more GPU, it uses more memory, hard drives evolved to NVMe. Still some are on, a slower generation, but many people are moving to NVMe to get faster, data processing. And this is where the Edge is coming in to, focusing on that connector to deliver that challenges. But the problem has been, you still change to the desk. And I know because of COVID, yes, that has been the problem about, government sending companies home. But there's been a lot of also people where they don't send home. They have to go to the office because they have these machines at the office and they don't have the best capability of connecting into these work styles. So it's difficult to have mobile, collaborative, secure workspaces. This is where this comes into hand. Then you have now 4 physical workstations in one U with these systems up to that, right? So on the first solution, just with the bare metal with M750, we have with the onboard GPU, calculation users, task worker users, very, very basic, usage, but it works good. Viewing stuff like that, in CAD. But then if you want to work with the CAD data, so you're starting doing entry-level work, that's where solution 2 comes into play. So you add an NVIDIA P1000 GPU to your workload and capable of giving a 4 GB frame buffer and also doing, having NVIDIA NVENC. You have the decoding capabilities where you use that together with the introducing software like Citrix or VMware, so they can use those components of software, together and combine to get a much more rich experience. Solution 3 is the scalable entry-level CAD, where you have a variety, from a couple of users all the way up to X amount of users. And here you virtualize the stack with a hypervisor. And you use the vGPU technology with that. And the last solution 4 is the most high-end offering, where you have the M750 together with the T4s in the bare metal. So you get a 16 GB frame buffer, and that's more typical for workloads like VRED, Maya, CATIA, 3ds Max. Now, these applications could also maybe run down in solution 3, but there are some applications where they require really, really large frame buffers. And if you want to get that dedicated experience, yes, then you give them, one user access to that. Now, if you want to save money, then you virtualize it with solution 3, and then you have a couple of users running on it, and the further you go down with the other ones. So this is an example on how you can, map your profiles, GPU profile, to the workload. So let's look at what the benchmarking applications are typical, not applications, but the workloads with the solution offerings. So with VMware, you can run the Horizon client on the T740, and it works great with Blast. With the Intel, they do decoding using adaptive with the VMware Horizon, and then with solution 2 and 3 and 4, they do NVIDIA NVENC H.264. The great thing about is when you buy the HP T740, you have FinPro from HPE, they lack capabilities software-wise. They don't support always the latest and greatest. I highly recommend adding on the IGEL OS 11 on this, and you get way better. You get, first of all, way better management and better experience. That's what I can tell you, compared to using FinPro and natively on the device. So let's look at some of the user experience with bare metal. So the first experience I want to focus on is the M750 with the integrated GPU. It works really great with 4K to the left and 4K to the right, connected to the thin client, full screen HD video, and a huge spreadsheet in Excel. Does a great experience in that. That stuff is good. Now, if you want to run really more high-end stuff, then I recommend looking at the P1000, and if you want the cutting edge, of course, it's the T4. So let's look at the T4. So the T4, this is a Reuters application I have here running, where you have a trader, with 2x 4K monitors. Then for them, it's so important that you see the data sharp. You see the information. They look at all this, and this is typical replacing a solution where they have 4 to 8 monitors and replacing them now with huge 2x 4K monitors. It works flawless, excellent. And that's with Citrix, that one. Now this one is with VMware as well, and here it works really great with 4K video from YouTube. I shoot this video and put them on YouTube. You can find them there as well. These are a really great experience. Show VMware has done huge work at optimizing their protocol BLAST, and it's quite amazing, astonishing what they've done when you look at bandwidth and user experience, because they don't consume much and they deliver an amazing experience. So VMware has also done really great work with, I want to show that. So this is Command and Conquer. So let's look at it. Monitors, 55-inch, 8K, where each is 4K monitor. So total is 8K. I'm running here VMware Horizon 712 with NVIDIA vGPU. It's a T4 GPU running the new Moonshot 750. It's a brand new generation Moonshot with that 5 GHz CPU. It's pretty nice. So I all virtualized this Windows 10 on using a thin client. HP thin. Here you can hear the Moonshot in the background. Let's see how the user experience is. Running 4K. This is a brand new game, remastered Command & Conquer. This is really excited about. Just came out today. You can see I am running 4K. Yes, let's do it.
The Grain Trade Center in Vienna was the 17th urban bombing in 4 weeks, blamed on Nod terrorists.
The Security Commission remains in closed session tonight following Nod terrorist actions in Slovenia.
At least your mother tipped well. Gosh, we forgive you.
But guys, remember, it's really cool, this intro, but I'm just going to jump. And let's pick the other side.
Brotherhood of Nod selected.
So, you're the new addition to the Brotherhood. Well, I'm Seth. Just Seth. From God to Cain to Seth. I am his right hand, and I have a task for you. This is Nakumba, and he is causing the Brotherhood much grief. His views do not coincide with ours, and that makes him dangerous. Silence him.
Awesome.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Let's see, yeah, this is
Reinforcements have arrived.
Yes. Alright, when we start. Good old 8 bits. Now total remaster graphics.
So that was really awesome. Let's look at Star Wars. Fresh, brand new, captured. I actually captured here the other day. So here, this is VMware Horizon 8, 2012, NVIDIA NVENC, and 4K. Running the IGEL OS. Okay. Graphics looks great, user experience great, smooth. Now it just goes directly into the game, and here you are flying the TIE Fighter, and now you are flying around and shoot, and it just works. Really awesome. Let's look at Citrix with the IGEL OS 11. HCX 3D Pro. Perfect voice synchronization, beautiful graphics, just like local. This is really, really amazing.
Chasing our tails for hours, and now we're late to meet the new boss.
Well, you want to race home, Chris? We might make it before his speech ends.
Kiddo, I ain't racing you. I learned my lesson the first 12 times.
Gosh, the speech is starting.
Oh man, I love this. This is so cool. If you're into Star Wars, I highly recommend you actually try out this game. It also works in VR, just makes the experience immersive at the next level. So freaking cool. This is like beyond coolness. Okay. So the next thing I want to show is Citrix with Quake. That's with the real-time ray tracing. So this is where you definitely need the NVIDIA GPU, and you can use a P1000 because it doesn't have real-time ray tracing. So let's look at how it looks like. So I was both recording with one hand in the video on the phone, and then trying to control both mouse and keyboard with the other hand. That was a little difficult, but yeah, it works flawless. Beautiful graphics, beautiful real-time ray tracing, colors, and you see the lightning with the shadows and all that. It's so cool. It's so cool. So, yeah. I'm like, it's astonishing. You know, we got real-time ray tracing on the Edge. You got to get 4 of those, you know, big GPUs. That's actually 64 gigabyte frame buffer. You know, totally, if you look at the number, but I'm like, that's quite amazing what you get compute-wise in that. And it can be used for anything. So from AI to, you know, super high-end, but also large task workers is anything, and even game streaming. Quite astonishing. Citrix and VMware are really, really pushing the technology to the edge. The race is definitely on in the protocol. It's still happening. They're still, you know, making it better and better. And again, I just want to thank you guys for joining my session. Have a great Disrupt Unite. Thank you.